everybody. Welcome to Love and Money Live. Woohoo! We are so glad you're here with us today, and we are going to dive right in. We are really excited and passionate about this message today. So join in, give us your comments, give us your feedback. We love to get the thumbs up.
Absolutely.
We love the hearts flying
and
across.
Suggestions and comments and all that good stuff too.
Absolutely. We are so glad you're here with us today. All right. So this particular subject is really important to us. Now, it's really interesting because boring. You know what month it is?
It's American Financial Literacy Month. So we've been kind of talking about some of those subjects about, we talked about debt, we talked about credit, we talked about spending, and so today
we're going to talk about one we're so excited about.
This is kind of our deal here.
Yeah, we're passionate about this, and it is all about planning for your future. And some people don't like the word retirement, so give it your own name. Your future funded life is another name for it. But we're going to talk about that. I know we worked with Envoy for years, where we call it future funded ministry. So you can call it whatever you want, but it's the future. And you probably don't want to, you want to have something more than just, you won't be getting a paycheck. Let me put it that way. Your paycheck will be stopping at some point in your life. And if you're young, then it's really great you're listening to this, because then you have time on your side. But your paycheck will stop at some point, and we want to make sure that you have enough and that you plan together. If you're in a relationship, how do you plan? Got to get those goals. And we're going to be spending the whole month of May focusing on this particular topic. So today we wanted to just whet your appetite, give you some really interesting facts just to think about. If you have an interesting fact, let us know.
Yeah.
Put it on the screen.
We love retirement stories. We love retirement stories, especially going into next month. Of people that have done it well.
Yes.
Maybe people that haven't done it so well.
Yep.
You know, one of the things that I've worked a lot of years on is with Social Security, and what we're finding more and more is that people are really, really relying on their Social Security. Social Security was never set up to cover more than a third of your expenses in retirement. And so is it a great thing to have to supplement income? Absolutely. Social Security is awesome. Don't think it's going anywhere. We'll talk about that next month. I'll be doing a little Social Security educational piece. But the reality is that getting ready for retirement can be really exciting. It doesn't have to be scary. You just have to get going. So today we're just going to share some fun, interesting facts about it.
Really interesting facts. And we're, again, so glad you're here. So if you're joining, give us thumbs up, give us hearts. We love to see those, and give us your feedback too. We love to hear. A funny, fun story that I love to tell about a person is, I remember I was meeting with them, and I have a financial planning background. I worked for 25, 30 years in the retirement planning space. Loved it. And I had a client, and he had a vision for planning for his future, that him and his wife were going to get a Winnebago, and they were going to travel all around the world, country.
U.S.
The U.S. They didn't.
And Canada.
Canada, yep. And they didn't want to have to get paid to do it. They wanted to be able to have enough money to save to be able to do that. But here's the
Well, they were traveling around the country, stopping it.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the clincher.
Okay.
Here's why they wanted to do it. They didn't do it to sightsee. They wanted to be able to have enough money to be able to go and encourage rescue missions. This particular gentleman had a real passion for rescue missions. He wanted to be able to go around the country and encourage the leadership of rescue missions all around the country, and be able to do that with his wife and not have to get paid for it, to be able to have their own savings account and money for it. So, and they did it. It was so exciting. So, planning for your future can be really fun. It can be really hard, but it's really important to start with some kind of facts in the back of your mind to start to give you some motivation to save for your future. And that's what we want to do today. So let's talk about some interesting facts, honey, that we see.
Yeah.
And the first one is really, some of them are sobering, and
most of them are sobering. It's always easier to talk about the bad than the good, because that's what people pull statistically. But the first one is crazy. And it's 1 in 3 Americans have saved for their retirement. 1 out of 3 have actually saved for their retirement.
They have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. 1 in 3, nothing. So that means that if you're with a group of people at a party or whatever, and let's say there's 3 couples, one of those couples has nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. So, wow, if you have more than nothing, then you can feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah, and you can start saving.
Exactly.
Which we're going to give you some really awesome practical steps next month.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, so let me just give you some of these other numbers that I thought were crazy about how many Americans, what they have saved. Is that, let's see, the 56% of Americans have less than $10,000 saved for retirement.
Less than 10,000. Okay, so honey, how much money would you be able to get off of a $10,000?
That's $120 a month, maybe.
$120.
Maybe.
That's enough to go to Carrabba's.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. Come on, people.
It is not a good number. That's
it is
for
not
sure.
good. Okay, I want to give this next statistic to you. Women are more likely than men to have no or little retirement savings. Okay, so for you single women out there, people who are maybe, or anybody who does not have a spouse, especially if you're a woman, you are more likely to have nothing. So that's not okay. So we're going to talk this next month about how to save if you haven't done any up until now. And that's going to be just a really, really great session. But it's just important to understand that you've got to get ahead of the game, but let's just kind of see where you are as a basic. All right, now talk a little bit about the millennials.
Yeah,
honey.
so this was really, I think this is awesome. 3 of 5 millennials have started saving for retirement.
So let's be encouraged.
Let's be encouraged. So it's kind of interesting. You've got the millennials, the Gen Xers, and then 55 and older. And what we're finding is that the Gen Xers actually are saving more than the people 55 and older, the baby boomers.
Can you just say that again?
Yeah. The Gen Xers are actually saving more for retirement than the baby boomers did. Now, they're a little behind because the market has been pretty rough from 2000 until 2016. We haven't really seen any, substantial growth until the last 18 months. So what we're looking at is a lot of the Gen Xers are still picking up, but the millennials are doing much better than many anticipated. And it's funny because the boomers have done the worst job. The Gen Xers are doing a better job, and the millennials, 3 out of 5 are saving.
Yes.
So that is fantastic.
Now, one of the reasons is because we believe that millennials, also Gen Xers, are seeing the people who are over 50, 55 and over.
Their mom and dad, their grandma,
starting
grandpa.
to talk about it, and they're worried about it. And they're like, I don't want to worry about that. So keep talking about, if you are in that 55 and older, keep talking about retirement savings. Your kids, your grandkids, they hear it.
And one of the things that we suggest, and we're going to go over this next month too, is that knowledge is key. Yes. And so you don't go into panic mode. You just go into how old am I and what should I start saving?
Okay, now this next statistic goes a little bit about with what you just said, but Gen X is still playing catch up on retirement plannings after the great recessions that we've had, the downturns that we've had in the market. So there is some catch up going on. So we're going to talk about that over the next month. How do we play catch up?
Absolutely.
How do we do that? But I just think it's so fascinating that the millennials are doing a better job. It's interesting when I interview kids for jobs,
they feel like kids
to us. These younger kids are actually asking about the retirement plan. What does it look like? How's your 401k? How's your 403b? What's that looking like? And you just didn't see that 20 years ago. And so these millennials are picking up on things. So
Absolutely.
I think we can be pretty excited about it.
So I can really speak into this next statistic, and I'm going to be talking a lot about this when we do the retirement, because I work with a lot of people that are 55 and older. And so one of the things that I'm seeing is true. It says 1 in 4 people age 55 and over has more than 300K saved.
Say that again.
That means, so only 1 in 4 people age 55 and over have more than 300K saved.
You guys, come on. No.
Yeah. That's kind of alarming, because you think they're probably within 10 years of retirement with only 300K. So you're only talking on 300K, maybe $700 or $800 a month in income. That's not going to get super far. So I think what we're going to start noticing now that the markets are getting a little stronger, people are becoming a little more confident in the economy, that we're going to notice more and more people start saving. But man, we've got some major catch up to do. We
do.
All right, you want to finish the last one?
I'll finish this last one.
Okay.
About 75% of Americans over 40 are behind on saving for retirement. So that means most people are behind. And so one of the things, you joining us, in our community here with Love and Money Live, we want to make sure that that's not the case. With you, we want people to have enough to be able to go wherever they feel called to go and be blessed and be blessing to other people. You know, there's a lot of people, it's interesting, honey, I was talking to a couple and, you know, they love to give. They're big givers. And in our money personalities, if you haven't taken your money personality assessment, be sure to do that at themoneycouple.com. But at any rate, their primary money personalities were both savers. Secondaries, they were different. Spenders. So they love to give. They love to give gifts. And one of their big concerns about when they were planning for their future was, am I going to have enough to be able to still give like I give now? And so it's just interesting, the different priorities that you have.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about that. What are some priorities and things to be thinking about?
And how do you do it as a couple?
Yeah.
How do we make these plans so that when we're maybe cutting back in one area and we're like, oh, I kind of missed that. But then our next reaction is, yeah, but it's going to be so great when. And that's part of what we're going to be talking a lot about next month is you can create this amazing win-win situation for your retirement so that when you go into retirement, you can give, you can enjoy. We're not one of those, you know, everybody's definition of retirement is different. And that's where we're going to start next month is like, our definition of retirement is totally probably different than even my brother and my sister-in-law's definition of retirement. It doesn't mean ours is right. It doesn't mean theirs is right. It just means it's different, and we're going to have to fund that differently.
That's right.
They'll fund theirs differently than we'll fund ours. So we're going to be talking a lot about that next month. We're super excited, but we just kind of wanted to prime the pump today, talking about the fact that most of us are behind, that it's nothing to panic about.
Don't panic.
We're going to get you there. Your relationship is going to come out stronger, and it's a great opportunity to work together as a couple.
Yep, we're really excited about it. So join us. Most of the time we're on at Wednesday at noon. We didn't today, but most of the time we are. And but be sure to look us up. We're excited to be talking in the month of May about this really important subject. If you have questions, please post them. We want to make sure that we address things that are important to you.
Absolutely.
That's really important. And we'll see you next week.
And as always,
make it happen.